What up, world? Welcome to another BrandonJaneauShow. As you know, I am BrandonJaneau, like always, on all podcast platforms everywhere. BrandonJaneauShow. Social media platforms, Instagram, Threads, Real BrandonJaneauShow. That's Real BrandonJaneauShow. REAL BrandonJaneauShow. Facebook, The BrandonJaneauShow. And of course, TikTok, BrandonJaneauShow, man. Go follow me on all those social media platforms. I would appreciate it if you did. Right away you go though. Here's the YouTube channel, man. BrandonJaneauShow YouTube channel. Subscribe, comment, like the vids, like the shorts. All helps in the algorithm if you do. So yeah, get into it. It's Tuesday, so you already know. It's I Bleed Sports. Yeah. Of course, NBA Finals. It's going down right now. Talk about that. Uh, NFL coming around. It's around the corner, man. NFL's around the corner. Got a interesting one tonight for that, and talk about that when I get to the NFL. Of course, there's some college football news I gotta talk about, and of course, the WNBA. But I started off with some good old fashioned boxing. Bam Rodriguez, Jesse Bam Rodriguez will be back in the ring this Saturday to either become undisputed. I think it's to become undisputed. Uh, yeah, to become undisputed champion. Um, yeah. Um, listen, man, if he beats Vargas this Saturday, I think Bam Rodriguez versus Nugano. I mean, anyway, versus anyway needs to fucking happen. Like I know that uh Turkey has said, oh yeah, we're gonna try to make the BAM and anyway fight happen. That needs to fucking happen. Like that needs to be the next fucking fight, and I mean that shit. Like this is, and I remember when I remember when I remember when I was watching Bam's last fight. He was beating the shit out of dude. He was beating the fuck out this dude. Beating the shit out of this dude. And I remember, listening to the people on the TV, and they were like, "Ah, man, if I was Bam, I wouldn't even think about, fighting, anyway." And I'm like, why the fuck would he not want to fight anyway? Like that doesn't make any sense. But because you have a fear that he will lose to anyway, and that's okay. I understand that. I get it. But at the same time, facts are, and it's just facts. Facts are, that's a mega fight, man. That's a super fucking mega fight. That's a fight that needs to happen. And that fight needs to happen. And it needs to be 100%. It needs to be 100% one of the biggest fucking fights we ever had. And I don't want it to be in Saudi Arabia. I want it to be in Vegas. I want it to be in front of an actual genuine audience. I want people to give a fuck about it. I want it to actually have a mad meaning behind it. I need that fight, and I need it to be a genuine, take no prisoners fucking fight. I do not need bullshit around that. I need a true fight. No diss to Saudi Arabia. Excuse me. But some of those fights don't really feel like a boxing event or a real moment where it's like, damn. But putting it in Vegas, putting it in New York, putting it in a boxing, actual, genuine feeling, man, that fight would be so fucking crazy. You will have, the Asian fans and the Hispanic fans all conversing in one spot, and just genuinely people that just fucking love fucking boxing, all wanting to see this type of fight. Now, I know a lot of people will say that Inoue, the Nightmare versus Bam Rodriguez. Oh man, Inoue will kill him. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I've seen Inoue get caught severely, get caught, like get extremely caught in certain fights. I think his game will be top tier. I think his game will be top notch. If they were to fight each other, I think he would be probably on his best behavior. I think he would not allow himself to get touched as frequently. But I have seen Bam and I have seen Inoue, and those two in a fight would be in that shit would be incredible. I have said this. I feel like I've been saying this shit for like a year or two now. I've been saying this shit for like a couple years now. That I think the fight that needs to happen the most is Bam Rodriguez in the Nightmare Inoue. I think that needs to happen, man. I'm trying to not like be like, man, oh no, no, it needs to fucking happen. There is no other alternative here. You want the biggest fight. You want to make it make sense. You want people to care. There it is. That is the next biggest fight. Both undefeated. Both got a lot to learn. And on top of that, people have been moving up to different weight classes. I think Inoue is in feather, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think he's in featherweight, and Bam is in, I think, can't fucking remember, catchweight or something like that. But if Bam goes up and he fights Inoue, that's a fight, man. I'm looking at that from a different perspective. I'm having a different conversation about that fight. That's a massive, massive fucking fight. And like I said, the only way this gets hurt or doesn't make happen is if obviously the boxing committee and all these goofy ass dudes jump into this situation and kill the opportunity to have this fight. Outside of that, this fight needs to fucking happen. I don't care about what the fuck you don't want to see. I don't give a shit that you're afraid that Inoue could lose or Bam could lose. That's been our biggest problem in boxing, especially when it comes to top tier matchups like this. The reason why a lot of people didn't have fights is because they got told you could probably lose. Instead of you telling them you could probably win, you telling them that they could probably lose, and then they immediately stop trying to pursue that fight. That's bullshit. Go up and fucking fight. That's what the fuck's supposed to happen. If you are now in a position where you've pretty much cleared out your whole division, either go up or you fight the fucking next best fucking fighter that's coming into your division, which is Bam coming in the Inoue's division. If that happens, I would love nothing more than to see what the fuck that fight will look like. I think that needs to happen. So Bam, I am rooting for Bam this Saturday. I hope he wins. Because if Bam wins, I am telling y'all now, if Bam wins, I will be the first person. I'm doing it now, but I will be the first fucking person to jump on here and say, Bam versus Inoue needs to happen, and I mean like to fucking tomorrow. I don't give a fuck what you think, hope, believe, or anything like that. That shit ain't got nothing to do with nothing. If that fight don't happen next, boxing fucked up. There's something in boxing that fucked up somewhere. We gotta get that fight. We've wasted too much time not getting that fight. That's the next big matchup, and I hope we get it soon. That's what I fucking hope. That's what the fuck I hope. So Bam this Saturday. Bam is returning. If he wins, I think he becomes undisputed in his weight class. And if that is, or he's already undisputed, I can't remember. But if he's already undisputed, or he's fighting Robert, Vargas to become undisputed. If he becomes undisputed, I hope the first thing he says after that fight, if he wins, is I'm going up and I'm fighting anyway. I want to fight anyway. Anyway has nobody left in his weight class. Bam has nobody left in his weight class. This shit needs to happen. Get out y'all way. Stop crying, bitching, and moaning, and let these fights happen. That's when boxing is at its best. When you actually have genuine fights. And it's like, nah, these two need to fight. They need to fight. Get the fuck out the way and let these two fight. That is one reason why I do like Turkey, Al-Sheikh, being in boxing, because he is not one of these goofy ass promoters that tries to hide their fucking boxer from fucking fighting. Like, he don't do that shit. He gives us the fights, and we sit there and say, yep, that's what's supposed to fucking happen. The WNBA. They are in their Commissioner's Cup. It's kind of like their play-in, their NBA play-in, but Commissioner's Cup. Um, Listen, man. There is a lot of great women's basketball being played right now, but I personally have to shine a light on Olivia Miles. Olivia Miles of the Minnesota Lynx. She is, to me right now, depending on where the season goes from now, if you ask me right now, she's rookie of the year. She's rookie of the year. You got the Lynx to 10-2. 10-2. And you got to realize Nasir Collier, she hasn't even played yet. I don't even think she's played yet. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, but I don't think Collier has actually even played. And that's your best fucking player. That's their best player. That's their number one. That's their franchise player. And she hasn't even touched the court yet. And they're 10-2. That's insane. That's fucking insane. She is coming in and breaking fucking records left and fucking right. And you just sitting there like, bruh. This is why I keep saying the game is evolving in the WNBA. Women like her, Paige Beckers, Fudd, bruh, the game is evolving, bruh. And then you still got Juju Watkins coming soon. There's certain girls, young ladies that are coming into the WNBA, and they're going to change the conversation of the fucking league. What you saw 2-3 years ago with Caitlin Clark and Cam and Cam Beck, Cameron Brink, and Aja Reese and Camilla, all of them, but the game is changing in such a fast way, because now you're getting women that are not just ball handlers. They're doing all players. Like, this shit's insane, bro. They can defend. Bro, this shit's insane. But Olivia Miles is going to win Rookie of the Year. Depending on where this season continues to go, because anything can happen. But if you ask me right now, she's Rookie of the Year. Like, it's not even fucking close. It's not even fucking close. Like, this shit's insane. 10-2, and the best player hasn't even stepped on a court yet for the Minnesota Lynx, which brings me to feeling like maybe Olivia Miles is the reincarnation of Maya Moore. Now, if you know Maya Moore, if you grew up in the mid 2000s, you know Maya Moore is a bad motherfucker. Maya Moore is a bad. One of the greatest women's basketball players ever. Ever. I mean, as a freshman in UConn till she was a senior, she won a national championship. I think her and Breanna Stewart are the only two fucking people to fucking do that shit. That's just insane. Maya Moore was dominant. And then she gets to the league her rookie fucking year. And I think she took like the Minnesota Lynx to the finals then and won the fucking finals right there. Like, Maya Moore was different, bro. Like you talk about a number one selected pick that changed the franchise. Her, Candace Parker. Like there are certain people that got picked by a franchise. And I ain't just talking about just the WNBA. I'm talking about in drafts in general. There are certain people, and now you can sit there and say the WNBA had lesser teams, which means it wasn't as hard to maybe change the franchise. Even in that sense, the turnarounds from what Maya Moore did with the Lynx, it's fucking insane. Because the Lynx had the number one fucking pick. She comes in one fucking year, boom, they're a championship contender. It's like, what the fuck? Maya Moore is that. Like, she is one of the greatest women's basketball players of all time. And might be one of the greatest basketball players of all time. I'm not even gonna limit her just to the women. Maya Moore is one of the greatest basketball players of all fucking time. Like, we gonna have to start talking about that woman in a different conversation in a couple of years. Like, a winner. I ain't talking about like kind of sort of. No, a fucking winner. Everywhere she went that we saw her, UConn, Minnesota, she was a fucking winner. You can't even that's just mind-boggling. That woman was a fucking winner. Olivia Miles had that type of energy in TCU. The Lynx are a team that, so it's not like this is a team that isn't reconstructed or anything like that. But to have Collier, who is your best player, not even play this season, and you are 10-2, being led by a rookie, that shit's insane. That shit's insane. The Lynx have, I looked at the standings yesterday while I was, jotting all this stuff down just to make sure I wasn't tripping. The Lynx have literally what, like, the next team close to them has already 5 losses. No, 4. 4 losses. 4 or 5 losses. They got 2. Now, they might have lost since then. I mean, since last night. I mean, that shit sounds insane. But since last night, they probably lost. But that's insane. I don't know if the Commissioner's Cup counts towards the actual record in the WNBA like it does in the NBA, because they say that kind of counts towards the NBA, but it doesn't really count towards the NBA, which sounds fucking stupid. But anyway, but the WNBA Commissioner's Cup and the Lynx are just rolling, man. And I don't know if Collier is coming back this season or not. Like, if she plays this season, that's just another fucking up, like a ante up for the Minnesota Lynx. That's insane. Olivia Miles is having one of the greatest rookie seasons we've seen in a very long time. I know. God, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Kayla Clark never got the fever to a winning record. They were never their rookie year, they didn't win shit like that. They didn't win shit. The fact that you have a rookie walking in with your best player hurt, and I know people are gonna say, well, you just said the Lynx were already a good team. Yes, but to have a rookie lead your entire fucking team without your best player playing, that's insane. That's fucking insane. That shit don't happen. That goes into the structure. It goes into the players. But it goes into also the actual attitude of the team. They didn't fold when their best player got hurt. They actually showed the fuck up more. That's a testament to those young ladies of the Lynx. And Olivia Miles is probably going to win Rookie of the Year. The fact that she is what, a 20-10 player all fucking ready, that's insane. That's fucking insane. Shout out to all of the W. I mean, I looked at the standings, like I said yesterday. Man, my God. If you were to tell somebody the Lynx is one, but you ask them who's the other teams, this is I know what people say. If the Lynx are 1, then the Fever are 2. The Fever are barely in the playoffs right now. They're the 8th seed if the playoffs was to start. So congratulations, you made the playoffs, but you're the 8th seed. Like that's insane because nobody watches the WNBA. You watch a player. You watch a player. And that's cool. That's okay. But this is the problem that we have when people get in our comments and try to talk down on us about the actual league. There are women that are better than your Lord and Savior, Caitlin Clark. There are women that are better. It's okay. It is not a diss to her. Just put some respect on those young ladies' names. That's all the fuck we ask, bro. Nothing more, nothing less. The Fever are like the 8th seed right now. And they're lucky as shit to win last night. Yeah, she hit a 3. I wonder what her fucking shooting chart looked like before she hit that game winner. Because y'all quick to say she hit a 3 to win a game. Pretty sure she missed like 7 of them bitches before she actually hit the one that won the game. But it is what it is. Shout out to the Lynx. But I was talking about this. I think the Aces, obviously. Aces, I think, was like second behind them. Liberty, which you got Brianna Stewart. You all right. You're going to be okay. You got Brianna Stewart, you're going to be all right. I just told you, Maya Moore and Brianna Stewart are the only 2 fucking freshmen to seniors that flat out won championships. From the moment they stepped on the campus at UConn to the day they left that motherfucker. And Sabrina Netschool hasn't even played yet. So think about that for a second. 2 of the most dominant teams right now in the WNBA do not have for the Lynx, their best player in Collier, and for the Liberty, their second best player is Sabrina Ionescu. That's insane. That's insane. And they have a 8-4 and 9-4 record. That's fucking insane. That's fucking insane. That's crazy. That's mind fucking boggling. Shout out to the Wings. Dallas fucking. I told y'all. I said by the end of this year, we're gonna start having a different conversation about who really is the face of the WNBA when it comes to Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark. And I'm telling y'all now, Paige Beckers is going to surpass Caitlin Clark. This is just our, second year? And the Wings are already one of the best teams in the WNBA. And they picked 1. They picked number 1. They picked 1. They got Izzy Fudd, and they finally started her. And now look at this team. They took the fuck off. Izzy Fudd and Paige Becker together. And they took the fuck off. And you still got a dominant all-star. Listen, bro. That's insane. And then you got the Dream. The Atlanta Dream. Being anchored. Not saying being anchored by Aja Reese. Aja Reese in the Dream have an incredible record this season. Now, when she got traded, people kept saying, hey, man, she's going to a really good fucking team. If everything lines up, they probably could win a championship this year. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, they might actually pull this shit off. The Dream might actually. Now, I think they're going to run into a problem. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like the Dream are going to win a championship this year. I think they will run into a problem. The reason why I say they will run into a problem is because I don't think they have the necessary. Listen, I love Howard. I love what the Dream is. I got to see them in a playoff situation before I jump out the window and start saying they're going to win a championship. I had to tell you, I think the Aces will give them a problem. I think Aja Wilson, Drew Lloyd, Chelsea Gray, Uh, I think that gives him a problem. I yeah, I think they give him a problem. I think the Aces give the Dream a little bit of a problem because you can't just. I think Agent Wilson is just a hard fucking player to figure out. You can get as physical with her as you think you can, and I still think you will lose that fucking game. Like that's how bad it is. I think you would try to get as physical with her as you possibly physically fucking can, and I think you still would probably come out on the losing end of that fucking game. That is why I feel like the Aces will give the Dream a little bit of a problem. And it's not a diss to the Dream. I think the Dream are incredible. I just feel like they still need that one significant piece. Now, I'm gonna be honest. Before she got released, Haley Van Lathan was kind of cooking a little bit. I'm just saying, if you are the Dream, you kind of need that ball handler coming off the bench a little bit. Haley Van Lathan has history with Aja Reese. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Just put it out there. Just throwing it out there. Haley Van Lathan to the Dream don't sound as crazy as people might want to make it sound. Just saying. Just putting it out there. But yeah, I think yeah, it's gonna be an interesting ending to the postseason. It's gonna be an interesting, and we just got started in a W. We ain't even close to really what it is yet. So yeah, college football. I gotta talk about this because I talk sports, ladies and gentlemen. I have to talk about this. Uh, Brandon, Strassman, Strassman. I don't know what the fuck you call that dude. The quarterback for Texas Tech. Um, so he, so he it's found out that he was illegally betting on college football games. He ends up he ends up in a situation where it goes from you know being ineligible basically because you're betting on fucking college football, bro. Like you're actually playing and you're betting on the games. Now he did it when he was like in Indiana as the quarterback in Indiana, um, and now he's at Texas Tech, and they found out that he's betting on games, and obviously they basically tell him, bro, you're ineligible. You can't play college football betting on fucking games. That doesn't work. We have something has to give. So they basically he because he's coming back. He was coming back I think for his fifth year. Yeah, it was fifth year, and he was coming back for his fifth year, and he was trying to come back for his fifth year, and they found out that he's betting on college football games, and now it's like, hey, we can't we can't just have you come back and play college football. You're ineligible. This happens. He, of course, obviously goes into the court, and yesterday rules that he gets an injunction on the eligibility situation. He now can play. The NCAA is technically um, in the wrong for suspending for basically saying he's ineligible Basically saying that he's ineligible for betting on fucking football games. But you tell me he gets an injunction. He can play this season. He will get suspended for like I think 2 games, but he can play this season. But Chambers of Ole Miss couldn't come back for his 6th year. I think it's 6th year. He couldn't come back for his 6th year, and there's nothing he can do about that. And all he wanted to do was just come back and play football. We don't know anything about him betting on games. He got no rap sheet, nothing. But he can't play college football. But this fucking dude who literally is betting on fucking football games can play football this year. Because he went to a court and they ruled and gave him an injunction. You see, I know people are ready to jump out the window and say, you see, when college football was college football, they didn't have shut the fuck up. This ain't got shit to do with the NIL. I know a lot of y'all want to jump out the window and scream, see what college football players will get paid. Shut the fuck up. This has everything to do with a decision like this. This has everything to do with temporary solutions to permanent fucking problems. We're going to be living in a world like that for a very long time. A lot of people live their life through that shit. Temporary solutions to actually permanent problems. What did they do? What did the NCAA do? They basically said, hey, bro, we found out you're betting on football games. You admitted to the shit. You're ineligible. You can't play football anymore. You can't play college football anymore. Go to the league. If they want to take you, take you. What did they do? He went and said, oh, no. Oh, no. I need a courtroom a courthouse, a judge that will rule in my favor. You say this is unlawful and gave him an injunction. And now you have the Big 12 conference being basically put in a situation because Texas Tech is going to have this kid on their roster. They really can't do shit about it. They have to have him on the roster. It's not like it's fucking, the NFL and you just cut the fucking guy because, some moral shit happens. It's not like that. It is not like that. This is why I am having a hard time trying to wrap my head around this shit. I get it. You feel that it was unlawful, whatever. But again, it goes to it's a moral feeling, which again goes to a temporary solution. You feel somewhere about it morally. Hey, man, you bet it on the game. We got to get you out of here. We can't do this. The permanent solution, the permanent problem is the fact that you got people that will sit here and let that shit slide and probably think that this is a good idea for the kid to do that. And now you have the Big 12 in a situation where teams are flat out saying, conferences that are saying we're not scheduling the Texas Tech. This is against the morals of college football, right? This is against the morals of college football. You don't bet on a football game. That's just sports. If you play the sport, you don't bet on a fucking game. That's a moral thing. But at the end of the day, a temporary problem, a temporary solution to a permanent problem. The NCAA, I know a lot of people think the NCAA has lost their balls since the NIL deals have become a thing. No, they haven't lost their balls. The problem with this is that there is no true unity in the NCAA anymore. It's every fucking conference for itself. So even though the Big 12 commissioner say, hey, man, we don't agree with this, but hey, man, what can we do? What is happening is a lot of teams now feeling like, you know what? Just because the court ruled that this dude can play, don't mean we got to get his fucking dude, time. We don't have to, play this fucking dude. And this is where this ruling fucks up the NCAA because they got to eventually have a conversation about this shit. And it's got to be a real conversation. You can't just sit around and play around with this. Because, like I said, Chambers from Ole Miss went to the courts numerous times, tried to get to play football, and they kept telling him he couldn't play football. He doesn't have a rap sheet. He doesn't bet on the games. There's nothing he did immorally fucked up. He just have overstayed his welcome, basically. And instead, he's the one that can't play, but fucking this kid plays because this kid can play. This is how fucked up this is. This kid can play because he found a loophole in a decision for the NCAA. That's basically what it is. There's gotta be a sense of unity. There's gotta be. That's what the problem of the. That's what the biggest problem in college football is now. It's not the NIL. There's no unity in college football. Every conference used to respect what it was. And now, and maybe it's because the changing of the guard. Maybe because the SEC isn't as big as it used to be. Maybe because it's the Big Ten's, time at the top. Maybe the old guard isn't ready for the new guard. I don't know. But there used to be some sense of unity in college football. And you can say the NIL deals fuck that up. But in reality is when shit like this used to happen, every conference used to agree. No, this shit ain't cool. It's morally fucked up. It corrupts the actual situation. And like I said, this has nothing to do with the NIL deal or NIL deals. This has everything to do with college football showing you they're not as strong as they used to be. Because if this is the case, if I was Texas Tech and this shit happened, I'm looking at this kid and saying, hey, bro, there's no reason for you to be here. Go somewhere else. And again, you can sit there and say, this is a Big 12 situation. This is a Texas Tech situation, whatever the case may be. The reality is, this is a college football situation. Because when that ruling came out yesterday, it was the NCAA that got the fuck up. It wasn't just a Big 12. It wasn't just a Texas Tech. That's where the fuck this is a problem. And I hope they get back to being a united front because college football has missed that for the last couple of years. We ain't done with football. Let's go to the NFL. Like I said, NFL's almost around the corner, man. It's almost here, man. Almost here, man. And of course, obviously, the conversation becomes obvious. The conversation becomes who's taking it this year? Who's going to win? Who's the Super Bowl champions? But more importantly, who's walking in with the most pressure? And I get to that next week. Which quarterback is walking in with the most pressure? AFC edition. But this, in the next week, I'll do the NFC, obviously. But this is just the pressure of the quarterback position for the second-year player. So last year's draft, you saw Cam Ward get drafted first, Jackson Dart get drafted 26th, Tyler Shuck get drafted 40th, and of course, Shedeur Sanders get drafted in, I think, the 5th round. Right? Those are the four quarterbacks that are walking into 2026 season, obviously knowing that they will either be the starter, Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Tyler Shuck, or Shedeur Sanders, who's now in competition with Deshaun Watson, which sounds fucking insane to say. I have to be honest. That sounds fucking insane to say. That Deshaun Watson could actually be the Browns starting quarterback this season to start the year. Yeah, that's insane. Anyway, but of course the conversation becomes, of these four, who has the most pressure? Obviously, three quarterbacks are way more under pressure than one. Right? Like, three quarterbacks are way more under pressure than one. I mean, let's just be real. One reason why they are more under pressure than one quarterback is, well, they already are the fucking starters. They are the starters. They don't have to look over their shoulder. They don't have to look and see if somebody's coming to take their job. They're not looking to see if somebody's trying to fuck them over. If the franchise actually generally gives a fuck about them, they know, hey, we are in the situation where we're the number one guy. So one of those guys do not have as much pressure on them as the others. Or does he? My question, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much pressure is these second-year players, second-year quarterbacks, really fucking under? So let's get this out the way. Shedeur Sanders, step your ass up to the plate. Let's see what you're doing. Shedeur Sanders is the one that obviously is going to be in a quarterback battle. He does not have the security number one position yet as a quarterback in the Cleveland Browns. The Browns' last couple of drafts, I have to be honest with you, has been drafting pretty fucking well. Pretty fucking well. I'm not going to sit here and hold you. The draft's been pretty fucking good. I like the Spencer Fernando pick, the offensive lineman from Utah, because I picked him to go to Cleveland. When me and my brother Juan did our mock draft show, I picked him to go to Cleveland. I kind of was like, yeah, they kind of need him. Now, massive blow today that they're losing their offensive lineman, their starting guard. He is now officially retired. That's a fucking blow. That's a massive fucking blow. You kind of needed all of the weapons you can fucking have in Cleveland to make this team work. That's a massive fucking blow. We've seen guys like that, Detroit last year, they lost their starting center in training camp, mini camp, and they couldn't recover. We saw the Browns years ago with Joe Thomas just out of nowhere retired. You're like, what the fuck? Especially on the offensive line, that's very predicated on trying to keep the quarterback healthy and upright. Excuse me. The Browns need all the fucking help offensive line-wise you can fucking get. So, to lose an offensive lineman that's a veteran, that probably would be the closest thing to your rookie offensive tackle that you fucking had, yeah, that's a bit of a fucking blow. That's a massive fucking hit to the Browns. Despite that, I would have been like, listen, when people do some shit like that, I would be like, bro, just retire before we get to the draft. Because at least I know when we get to the draft, you're not there. So I need to check this shit off the list. The Browns. Shedeur Sanders. You got some really good receivers that they drafted this year. You got some really great weapons last year. I know the Myles Garrett trade fucked up a lot of people's mindsets, but the Browns still have a really good fucking defense. I mean, yes, losing Myles Garrett is a massive hit. Tremendous hit to your defense. But it does not change the fact that Jared Verse is still a really good fucking defensive player. Don't get it twisted. I know. He ain't Myles Garrett. Nobody's fucking Myles Garrett. Let's get that shit out the way. Nobody is Myles fucking Garrett. But let's not get shit twisted. You still got Mason Graham. You still got Jared Verse. You still got the kid you drafted last year, linebacker last year. You still got Denzel Ward playing corner. You still got a defense, nigga. Don't get it twisted. And like I said, Junkins, Farmer, who you drafted last year, and now you got your receivers that you drafted this past offseason, this draft. How much pressure is Shedeur really under to be the guy coming into this second year? If he wins the job, how much pressure is Shedeur really under? I give him a 4. On a scale of 10, he's a 4. Now, a lot of people are going to say that's a lot of pressure. No, it's not. On a scale of 1 to 10, he's a 4? That's not pressure. The reason why is not because I don't think the Browns have a good team. I don't trust the head coach. Todd Monken feels like a 1 year hire, just like the coach in Miami. They feel like we only got you here so we can fuck up this season. We can fuck up this season, blame it on you, say it's your fault, and then we can fire you. We can draft who we want to draft quarterback-wise, and then we can take this team to where we really want to take it. We're not going to fuck up these drafts, but we know exactly what the fuck we want to do. That's why they traded Myles Garrett. You think they traded Myles Garrett just because they really wanted to? No, they looked at the team and was like, oh shit, we might actually be good this year. we might actually be good this fucking year. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually told the fucking offensive lineman to retire. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. We gonna stop acting like some of these teams don't pull strings and tell the players, hey man, giving them some innuendos like, hey man, I don't know, man, maybe you should probably, I don't know, retire. Because we ain't gonna be good this year. We're not gonna be good this year. And they probably, he was like, all right, well, fuck it, I'll retire. Like, I feel like that's the thing. Right? Like, I feel like that's the thing. I think they went to him. They didn't outwardly say, hey, man, I think you should retire. But they damn sure gave him some innuendos. Like, hey, man, I'm just saying, man. Hey, man, listen, man. Hey, man, listen. Think about it. So on a scale of 1 to 10, yeah, I give Shedeur a 4. Like, I don't think his pressure is at a crazy level because I don't think the Browns are committed to him. Because if you were committed to him, this fucking conversation of him versus Deshaun Watson, I don't give a fuck how much money you paying this nigga. Y'all have never gave a single solitary fuck about Deshaun Watson. So why the fuck is this a conversation? Why is this a conversation? Why is Shedeur and Deshaun Watson fucking having a fucking quarterback competition? Why? Why? Why the fuck is this a conversation? I don't think Todd Monken is going to be there long enough. I think he's going to get fired midway through the season. If the Browns have a bad start to the year, he's getting fired. After the season. I think after the season, he's getting fired. Because they want to get the number 1 pick. They got to secure the first pick. And the only way you secure the first pick is if your head coach suck. So Todd Monken. The offensive line is still a little questionable. Now you just, like I just said, you just lost an offensive lineman, a really good offensive lineman. You lost him. He's gone. I don't know what the fuck the Browns are. Yes, I like the drafting. The drafting of Denzel Boston. I forgot the other receiver they drafted. It was a really good receiver, though. It's a really good receiver. I like those drafts. I like those picks. With Jerry Jeudy still there, we should see how the Browns are going to actually physically look. But the reason why the pressure for me when it comes to Shedeur Sanders is a 4 is because I don't think the Browns are getting out the fucking AFC North. Like, bro, you're in the toughest fucking conference. I mean, the toughest fucking division. You're in the toughest division. And I've said this numerous fucking times on my podcast, man, and I'll say it again. Baltimore and Cincinnati are going to be the two teams in the AFC that are going to fucking run through the fucking NFL. I am looking at Baltimore. I'm like, this is a different caliber. Lamar is way more fucking focused. He's hyper fucking focused. And I ain't heard too much, but I'm pretty fucking sure Cincinnati defensively is going to be way better than people think. You don't make the moves that Cincinnati has made defensively and not be better. A Dexter Lawrence, the kids you drafted in the draft, like they got some pieces. That Cincinnati defense is finally going to wake the fuck up. And I think Cincinnati is going to be a dangerous team. So you got to already compete with those two. That's just the two teams in your division. Not to mention, we really don't know what the Steelers are. And then even if you can't get, and even if you beat the Steelers, you get out that situation with the Steelers, the Texans and the Titans, maybe the Jaguars, maybe the Colts. Clearly the AFC West, Kansas City, Denver, Chargers, maybe even Raiders. AFC East feels like it's just two teams, and it's the Patriots and the Bills. That's it. Maybe the Jets, but the Jets have no quarterback, and I don't know how much longer Aaron Glenn has. And I don't know how much longer Aaron Glenn actually has. So, yeah. Sorry. And I don't know how much longer Aaron Glenn actually generally has. So, yeah. So that's why I'm giving Shedeur Sanders a 4. The pressure on Shedeur Sanders is not as crazy, despite what people want to say. It's a 4. It's a 4. I give him a 4. I give him a 4. The next quarterback is Cam Ward. Cam Ward, to me, is the next quarterback with the most pressure, right? To me, Cam Ward is the next quarterback. I give Cam Ward on a scale of 1 to 10. If Shedeur's a 4, Cam Ward's a 6. 6.5. Why is Cam Ward only a 6.5, Brandon? Because despite my high hopes for Tennessee, I think Tennessee is going to have an incredible season. I think Tennessee is actually going to fucking win the division. Well, let me take that back. Let me take that back. I think Tennessee is going to compete with Houston, and people are not ready to see it. I think Tennessee has all of the makings of being the Patriots of last year. I really fucking do. You got the head coach, right. You got your quarterback, right. You got a fucking receiver, right. Running game is a little bit shaky, but we shall see. Defensively, Tennessee got the pieces. Don't get Jeffrey Simmons. Like, bro, they got the fucking pieces in Tennessee. Don't get it twisted. I know they let L'Jarius Sneed go, but, Tennessee got the fucking pieces, bro. And you add Robert Saleh, who fucking can coach a defense in his fucking sleep. Adding him to that team, they feel like this year's Patriots. Like they feel like this year's Patriots. And that is why I feel like the Titans are going to be a very scary fucking team. The reason why I don't have Cam Ward super high on the pressure meter is because I still gotta see that offensive line. I gotta see that offensive line. His running game is still a little shaky. And like I said, I like the tight end you have. I like the tight end Tennessee has. I like Carnell Tate. I've obviously told y'all Carnell Tate I think was a way better pick than people want to fucking sit there and give him. I think it's bullshit that people sat there and was like, I don't understand that pick. Really, bitch, you don't understand that pick? Everybody, you don't understand that pick. When everybody kept saying and their mama kept saying, man, I don't know, if you give Cam Ward maybe a fucking receiver, they might do something. Well, they gave him a receiver, and people immediately was like, I don't get it. I never seen no shit like that. Hey, man, I think you should give Cam Ward a receiver. You give a Cam Ward a receiver, he's like, I don't get it. I don't see it. I don't. These two they don't correlate. What the fuck you mean they don't correlate? The fuck you talking about, nigga? Oh my god, yeah, that shit was so stupid. But it's the same thing with kind of I feel with Shador. It's like, bro, you're in the AFC. Now, for Cam's benefit, you're in the AFC South. But the problem with the AFC South is it's so fucking tricky. I can tell you Houston because Houston's defensively is CJ Stroud and D'Amico Ryans. Like I can tell you Houston. But the Colts is such a fucking weird team. And the Jaguars are such a fucking weird team. And you're just sitting there like, the Titans should be bad, but they can also be really fucking good. And then on top of that, you got a schedule that kind of benefits you. And I don't want to hear this bullshit about, oh man, you know Drake May, you know he only got there because he had a really easy schedule. I don't want to hear this shit next year about Cam Ward too. Oh man, they only got there because they had a really easy. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Because if that is the case, the Caleb Williams making it to the playoffs last year was because of fucking schedule that he had. Do you want to have that conversation too? Okay then. Here was 6.5 on a pressure meter. 6.5. Two more quarterbacks who has a lot of goddamn pressure. So who the fuck is that two, Brandon? Who's the second most pressure quarterback coming in second year? Who needs to worry the fuck out themselves? Who needs to get worried? If you're asking me, you're asking me the most pressure, second most pressure on a second year starter is Tyler Shuck. Tyler Shuck. Tyler Shuck is as close to 10 as I can get him. Tyler Shuck is as close to 10 as I could get him. And that's a 9.5. I am a Saints fan. I do a podcast on the Saints. Bleed Black and Go. It will be back later on this year for the NFL season. But, but despite that, I can honestly say 9.5 for Tyler Shuck when it comes to the pressure of this upcoming season. The reason why is because unlike Cam and Shador, the NFC South is wide the fuck open. Carolina should be good this year. I like the pickups that they had. I like the draft Carolina had. I thought it was actually really fucking good. It's a really good draft. They got the pieces that they needed. They signed Devin Lloyd. They signed Jalen Phillips. They got pass rush. They got everything they fucking needed. They got a running game, kind of. I mean, they got their number one receiver. They got some pieces in Carolina. Got to give them their proper respect and love. But it boils down to Bryce Young. And if Bryce Young has that, I don't know if I'm good. I don't know if I'm there. If I'm decent enough year, again, I don't think he gets Carolina to the playoffs. I don't think you even win the NFC South. Atlanta defensively should be good. But let's not get shit twisted. Outside of maybe a couple of fucking games last year from Kyle Pitts is still Kyle Pitts. Y'all have been waiting for this fucking dude to be some game changing level tight end since he's been fucking drafted. And he still has not lived up to what the fuck y'all think he is. He hasn't lived up to it. What the fuck are you seeing? He's supposed to be the number one tight end in the league. This motherfucker is barely on the list. Barely on the list. I would take at least 10 fucking tight ends before I get to Tyler, for fucking I get to Kyle Pitts. Are you fucking kidding me? I take at least 10 of them motherfuckers. Including 2 old motherfuckers. I would take Travis Kelce and George Kittle before I ever think about taking Kyle Pitts. Are you fucking kidding me? Sam Laporta. Fucking Sam Laporta. Peyton Fairview from Pittsburgh. Trey McBride. Brock Bowers. Bro, there's so many fucking tight ends I'll take before I get to this fucking dude. Costa Loveland. Tyler Warren. Bro, there's so many fucking tight ends I'll take before I even get to this fucking dude. Before I even get to Kyle Pitts. So this is my problem with people. You see a game or two, and then you start screaming, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. What the fuck are you talking about? Because I see a nigga that had 2 good games. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less, just 2. This ain't like Bijan Robinson. Like Bijan Robinson, all right, Bijan Robinson, that's different. He's actually lived up to the status. But let's not get shit twisted. I don't see what the fuck Atlanta is. I don't know what Atlanta is. I don't know what Atlanta is. I don't know what Atlanta will be. I have no clue. I have no clue. I don't know what it is. And Tampa drafted on the defensive side of the ball, something they desperately fucking needed to do. But the problem with Tampa, that has always been a problem with Tampa, is your front 7 has never been the fucking problem. Your cornerback situation, your secondary fucking sucks. Your secondary fucking sucks. Outside of Antoine Winfield Jr., your secondary fucking sucks. It's trash. Your front 7 has never been a problem. Vea, you've had people. That's never been your problem. It's your fucking secondary. Until you clean that shit up, you drafted Ruben Bain. Great. But if you can't get a quarterback down, now what? Can somebody explain this shit to me? If you can't get, you've had Vea, now you got Ruben Bain Jr. Now you got, that's great. Your front 7 has never been a problem. It has always been your secondary. And now you lost Mike Evans. You expect Chris Godwin to stay healthy all fucking season? I like Bucky Irvin. I thought Bucky Irvin had a great season last year. He did not. If Baker Mayfield is getting older and your offensive line is also getting fucking older, you didn't fix nothing. You didn't fix shit. So yes, Tyler Shuck has very high pressure on him. Out of all the teams, like I said, Carolina made some moves that I actually like. But it comes down to Bryce Young. Tyler Shuck has absurd amount of pressure on him this upcoming season. It's all his own doing because of how great last year ended, but also the moves the Saints have made during this offseason. Travis Etienne, we might be getting We might figure that out, Alvin Kamara and Travis. But this is why I've always said. This is why when people kept saying, "Oh man, we should draft Jeremiah Love. Him and Alvin Kamara would be great," and I kept saying, "I think y'all are misreading this decision. If you draft a fucking running back, it immediately makes Alvin Kamara look at the situation and say, well, goddamn, I thought I was the number one guy." And this is why Travis 18 and Alvin Kamara, even though it looks great and it makes sense, this is why I kept saying, if you would have probably signed a bigger running back, not somebody that does exactly what the fuck Alvin Kamara does, we probably wouldn't have this situation. If you had signed like a Mark Ingram, Deuce McAllister type for the Saints, if you would have signed one of them, I did. Maybe like I don't even know the running backs that was actually a free agent this fucking season outside of Kenneth Walker. If you had signed a running back that wasn't of that ilk of an Alvin Kamara, yeah, it's a problem. This is why I kept saying, the people that kept telling me, "Oh, Jeremiah Love is going to get signed. Oh, we're going to draft Jeremiah Love." And I kept saying, that is fucking stupid. I kept saying it. If the Saints can smooth that shit out, drafting Jordan Tyson, signing Travis Etienne, and then signing David Edwards, an offensive lineman. Eric McCoy is healthy. With that offensive line, I still, by the hopes and prayers, I hope they find an offensive lineman. I don't know if the kid that we drafted from Auburn, the offensive guard, I don't know if he's ready, but I will say, if he somehow, someway takes this fucking job from Cesar Ruiz with that offensive line, that offensive weaponry, in a defense that we actually had last year, and it's a year with healthier players, we should win the NFC South very convincingly. Like, it should be dominance. It should be very easy to win. And I know people that's going to sit there and say, that's fucking insane. Is it? This is why I say Tyler Shuck's pressure is immensely different, because he actually is in a division that he can fucking win. And not just a division he can fucking win. He could dominate. I talked about this when I did the same schedule a couple weeks ago. Fuck, a month or two ago now. It feels like a month ago. Excuse me. I thought about this when I did the same schedule a month ago. I said, outside of maybe the first couple of weeks where we played the Lions and the Ravens, but then we got a very easy take no prisoners schedule. And then I said the Cincinnati Green Bay game is going to be a little bit questionable for us. But if we win these, and on top of that, you got to realize week 6, which is about early October, yeah, the win should be high. But we can go into New York and beat the Giants, and it's just like, now what? This is why I say the Saints. If Tyler Shuck and the Saints don't fuck their shit up, the Saints win the NFC South, and very fucking convincingly. That's why the pressure's on Tyler Shuck. Because it's not just how you ended last year, it's how people are perceiving this year. Already. We pretty much had a pretty good free agency. We had a pretty good draft. Your pressure meter is fucking up there. 9.5. But at number 10, number 1 with a bullet at 10 is Jackson Dart. You see, the difference between Tyler Shuck and Jackson Dart, to me, is the fact that, yeah, Tyler Shuck has expectations. We expect him to live up to it. Like we're expecting him to live up to it. He got the same system he had last year. He got new players, more of a commitment from the team, more of confidence boost from the team, and you're in a easier division. Jackson Dart has none of that shit. You don't have the same team. Well, let me take that back. You don't have the same structure as you did last year. That is gone. Which is another thing about the Tennessee Titans situation I like about Cam Ward, which is you got Brian Dable, who is now the offensive coordinator of the Tennessee Titans. But Jackson Dart doesn't have the same structure he had last year. We don't know what the fuck's going on with Malik Neighbors. We don't know what the fuck's going on with Cam Scatterboo. It's so bad that you have the Giants having to go sign fucking receivers way past their fucking prime just to get something to help this fucking kid. I don't know about that offensive line. Your receiving core is already shaky. Your running game is already fucking shaky. And you have immense amount of pressure on you because of the fucking head coach you brought in. And it isn't because the head coach is fucking good. It's just because for the last 5 to 7, 8 years, he's been kept afloat by a better fucking quarterback than you are. And now you get put in a situation where you're in a actual tougher division. You had to contend with an Eagles. You had to contend with a Cowboys. You had to contend with a Commanders. You're in a tougher division with all of that pressure, and you haven't proven shit. Jackson Dart won New York, what, 2, 3 games last year? And that's before he got hurt. And then on top of that, you've been fucking hurt. You are a crash test dummy. I have said this repeatedly. You're a fucking crash test dummy. You are a more athletic Tua. And that's all the fuck you are. And now you put him in a situation where all of the pressure is submerged onto him. And now you got to make it work. And you don't even know if your number one receiver is coming back. You don't know if your running back is coming back. And you have pressure that you didn't even ask for because of your ownership saying, we need a big name. We need an eye-popping name. Let's go get John Harbaugh. Why? Why? Jackson Dart has too much fucking pressure without any of the actual value that he can live up to it. He never did in college. Why the fuck would I believe he could do it in the NFL? A harder, difficult, more bullshit moments. He's going to, bro, come on now. Jackson Dart's a 10. He is a 10 by a wide fucking margin. Next week, I will be talking about the AFC. There are a couple of quarterbacks that I definitely got to talk about next week. Lamar, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, and CJ motherfucking Stroud. Y'all are the quarterbacks that will be on the pressure meter next motherfucking week. Which one of those quarterbacks can make it actually to the Super Bowl? Patrick Mahomes is still down. But I will tell y'all next week who I think can make it to the actual Super Bowl next week. Before I get off of here, obviously, NBA Finals. NBA Championship. Last night, the Spurs finally got their dub in the NBA Finals. They went into New York and beat the Knicks. Held them off, won the game. And now the series is officially 2-1. I think tomorrow is game 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I said the Spurs would win this series. I thought it'd be a gentleman's sweep. I thought the Spurs would win this shit in 5. I'll be honest. Am I backing off of that prediction? Well, obviously they can't win it in 5 because they just won their first game yesterday. So no, I don't think the Spurs are gonna win it in 5. Do I think the Spurs can win the series? Yes. I think the Spurs can still win the series because I don't think the Spurs. I think the Spurs have beat themselves more than the Knicks have actually beat the Spurs. I think the Spurs have beat themselves. I think the Spurs have been a better team than the Knicks. I think the Knicks have literally let the Spurs, inexperience, kick the fuck in, and it just took an advantage of it in the late quarters. But I think last night the Spurs finally grew the fuck up. Like they grew the fuck up. Like they got punched in the mouth in the second quarter. They got punched in the mouth. They came back, went into halftime up. They had to kind of figure it out. The crowd is back down to a calm state, but clearly it's the third quarter. The Knicks are coming back on the court. They're winning the game. The city is alive, baby, in New York. It's the Mecca. It's MSG. It's game time. And you answered. You answered. Pressure's on. Who's going to win? And you answered. You answered. You see, I don't think the Spurs have lost those 2 games like how people want to picture it. Let's be 100. If Victor Wembanyama doesn't throw the fucking ball behind Stephon Castle and hits him in the back, the Spurs go down the court. They get enough time to call whatever play they wanted to call. And you put the Knicks in a situation where they had to now figure out defensively what the fuck to do. The Knicks got fucking lucky in game 2. Let's be 100. Let's keep it a beam. They got fucking lucky. That was a young mistake by Victor Wembanyama that cost the fucking Spurs the goddamn game. It is what it is. But you saw last night, they finally was like, okay, let's do what we do. And that is why I continuously say, I think the Spurs are a better team than the Knicks. I think the Spurs are a better team than the Knicks. I'm watching this shit, and I'm like, bro, game 1, the Spurs was tight as fuck. You could see it. You could see the Spurs were tight as a motherfucker. They tried to like calm themselves down, loosen up. They couldn't do it. So when the Knicks came back, it was kind of like, yeah, I mean, the Knicks are supposed to probably catch them. Because the Knicks were a little bit more calm. You look at game 2, Knicks are winning. They're supposed to win that game easy. They're more experienced, right? They've been the OG Anunoby's got a ring. Mikal Bridges has been to an NBA Finals. They know how to handle this. But this is why I keep saying the Knicks are they're playing a dangerous fucking game because you keep waiting for them, the inexperience of the Spurs to kick the fuck in. There has not been one game where the Knicks flat out was the better fucking team. That's not been one game. They've just handled the pressure in the certain ends of the games better than the Spurs. That's it. They just waited for the Spurs to basically show their age. And they capitalized on it. If last night is a telltale sign of what the fuck this series can actually become moving forward, ooh, shit. I know it's one game, but I continuously say, bro, the Spurs did not lose those 2 games like everybody wants to sit here and scream. The Knicks just waited till the Spurs inexperience kick the fuck in. They're fucking kids. So eventually it was going to kick the fuck in. But those 2 games, there was never a time where the Knicks were the best fucking team. Even last night, in Madison Square Garden. You're supposed to be the team that's the most comfortable. The first quarter, you throwing the ball all over the fucking place. This is why the fuck I keep saying to people that keep sitting here. Do I think the Knicks can still win this? I think the Knicks will easily win this series if they win tomorrow. I think the Knicks will let them have game 5, but they're gonna go to MSG and they're gonna try to close it out. I wouldn't do that. I personally wouldn't fucking do that. I would if I got game 5 and we up 3-1, we going into San Antonio to whoop their ass and go home. Fuck all that. Fuck all that. I'm not leaving this up to chance. Fuck that. There's not been a time where the Knicks have been better than the Spurs. They just outlasted them. That's it. I know Knicks fans are pissed off at me for saying that. That's just the facts. And listen, outlasting a team that's way younger than you, not experienced in these types of situations, that's great. But now you're starting to see what I've been seeing from the Knicks for a very long time, which is you got a ball dominant guard that's only 6 feet taking these types of hits. Now that shit's starting to weigh on him. And the one problem with the Knicks was they haven't played in a very long time. So you're now not getting these long intermediate rests. You're playing now maybe 2-3 days after the game. So now your legs are starting to get fucking tired. Whereas for San Antonio, who's been playing for a good stretch of time, they just needed to catch their rhythm. I'm not saying the Spurs are going to make a magic comeback and win the series the next 4 fucking games. Fuck no. But last night was something that I wanted people to see, what I've been saying. Because eventually the Knicks' legs are going to the Knicks are going to get tired. Because you went from having no basketball to now playing every fucking game damn near. And it's now getting physical. It's getting fucking physical. And now the Spurs are realizing, oh, we can go through Jalen Brunson. Oh, Karl-Anthony Towns isn't as physical as they keep screaming he is. It's starting to get fucking physical. And that is something the fucking Knicks cannot afford. They can't afford getting physical. You can't afford, because your 2 best players are offensive weapons. You can't afford for Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns to be on the bench. You can't afford it. Especially if you're having the bench players come in. They're not used to these situations. I still got the Spurs winning the series. Don't get it twisted. Could tomorrow change that? Yes, obviously. You go down 3-1, it's a different conversation. But there's never been a time where I watched this NBA Finals and I flat out said, oh, the Knicks are better than the Spurs. There's never been a time. The Spurs have obviously led these games way more than the fucking Knicks have. The Knicks have just been able to weather the storm long enough. They've been able to outlast the Spurs. That's it. Last night was growing up for the Spurs because they have pissed away a lot of 4 quarters in these NBA Finals. They finally got it done. Will that lead them to tomorrow and win them a game tomorrow? I don't know. But I will say this. The Spurs are better than the Knicks. And I know people are going to say the Knicks win the championship. The Knicks will always better. Oh, Brandon, you need to walk back the words. No, I'm not. The Spurs are better than the Knicks. They're better than them. They just don't have the fucking experience. That's it. They don't have the coach, the players. They just don't have the experience. But the Spurs are better than the Knicks. The Knicks are just outlasting them. That's it. You have a guy like Jalen Brunson that can handle that. But what is happening with Jalen Brunson right now? Now he's starting to get fucking tired. Now he's starting to get physically hit. Now and then on top of that, you're having to make long up there shots, which is taking more energy out you and more stamina out you. That's a problem. That's a massive fucking problem. So congratulations to the Knicks. But I can see the Spurs winning the next 3 fucking games. And I mean, maybe tomorrow is a hard game for the Spurs. But once they kind of like, oh, they can't really play with us. Like they need us to fuck up. The Spurs have come out and beat the fuck out the Knicks. If they can just play like they've been playing, and that's stay focused, bro, the Spurs are going to win this series. Like I said, tomorrow could change a lot. I mean, game 4 is a different conversation. But if you ask me again, if I'm putting pressure on someone, the Knicks need to win tomorrow. If they don't win tomorrow, they gonna lose this fucking series. And they gonna lose it in fucking 6. I told y'all, it's great to win. How do you respond after you lose? You see, the Spurs have had to respond after they have lost. And they have. The Knicks have not lost a game since Atlanta. Game 3. This is their first loss. How do they handle that? Do they come out like a house on fire? Or do they come out a little timid? Do they come out like, oh, wait a minute, we can lose. Oh, we can lose. Oh, shit, we can lose. Oh, shit, I think they might be better than us. Oh, shit, wait a minute. Fuck. All right, somebody grab that motherfucker. Like, it could get bad. It get bad fast, man. But that is the end. That is it. That is all. Tell you guys next week. Talk to you guys next week. More sports. Till then, I am Brandon Janeau. This is I Believe Sports. Peace.